E.N.D here. Let's continue our first day of spoilers for Theros Beyond Dead. We have more cards that have been spoiled. I have already showed you a couple of good cards that have been spoiled today. Let's see what more cards have been spoiled for Theros Beyond Dead. Brain Giant 6 and 1 blue. It's a giant, it's a 5/6 creature. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each enchantment you control. You have to remember that Theros Beyond Dead, there are a lot of enchantments and also there are the enchantment gods. Stern Dismissal 1 blue. It's an instant. Return target creature or enchantment an opponent controls to its owner hand. It's a very nice removal spell and that slows down your opponent. We have a reprint, Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin first printed in Ixalan. It's a land, it's an uncommon. You tap and you add 1 colorless, and for 2 you tap, you sacrifice it and destroy target non-basic land and opponent control. Each player searches their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield and shuffle their library. Now we have the land cycle for Theros Beyond Dead, and the land cycle, these lands are the Skylands and these are the allied colors. Let's see all of them. Temple of Enlightenment, white and blue. Temple of Abandon, 1 red and green. All of them enters the battlefield tapped, and all of them as they enter the battlefield you scry 1 and you add in this case 1 red and 1 green. Temple of Plenty, 1 green and or white. We have Temple of Deceit, blue and black, and Temple of Malice, that is black and red. We have a very interesting legendary artifact, NYX Lotus. NYX Lotus 4, it's a 4-drop, it's a rare card. It's a lotus, that means that it will give you a lot of mana. In this case, it enters the battlefield tapped. You tap, you choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. In my opinion, this card in Commander will be extremely popular and extremely powerful. Underworld Reach for 1 and 1 red. This is an enchantment, it is a rare card. Each non-land card in your graveyard has escape. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. At the beginning of your end step, you sacrifice Underworld Breach. It's a very interesting card, it's a very interesting enchantment. It lets you play cards from your graveyard for the escape cost, and the escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus you exile 3 other cards. Very interesting enchantment. We have the same card, Underworld Breach. This is the extended art. As you know, the extended art cards, these cards can be only found in the collector boosters, and I have already covered the collector boosters for Theros in my previous videos. I urge you to seek those videos and see my opinion regarding the Theros Beyond Dead collector boosters. This is the Underworld Breach version, the extended art version of the card. The first mythic. We have a very interesting card. It's called Ox of AGONAS. There is a legend in AGONAS of a fallen warrior who was able to tame a wild ox and ride it all the way to NYX. Condemned souls who seek this freedom instead find themselves tangled for eternity in the ox's twisted horns. Let's see the card. Ox AGONAS, 3 and 2 red. This is a mythic, it's an ox. When it enters the battlefield, you have to discard your hand. Then you draw 3 cards. It is a 4/2 and has a very interesting escape cost. It's only 2 red and you need to exile 8 other cards from your graveyard. Ox of AGONAS escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it. That means it is a 5/3 creature. It is a very strong card in my opinion. Dredge has found a new creature to be casted on turn 2 or even turn 3. This can be casted literally with only 2 red mana. Very, very strong card. Perperius Bronze Blooded. I have already showed you this card. Unfortunately, Wizard of the Coast played a small game with us, didn't tell us the casting cost, didn't tell us the toughness and power, didn't tell us all the features about this card. Now we have everything. Perperius Bronze Blooded, 4 and 1 red. It's a legendary enchantment creature, it's one of the gods, it's a mythic, it is indestructible. It is a 7/6 creature, it's a very powerful creature. Obviously, it is not a creature unless you have a devotion of 5 or more. Other creature you control have haste, and that's a very, very powerful ability. And for 2 and 1 red, you may put a creature card or an artifact creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. It's a very interesting card, it's a very strong card. And let's see if this card will see play in Standard, in Pioneer, or even Modern. If it doesn't find play in those formats, I'm sure this will be a very strong commander for your Commander deck or Brawl deck. Last but not least, Erebus Bleak Hearted. For 3 and 1 black, this is the black god. It's indestructible, it's a 5/6, so we have a 4-drop for a 5/6. As I said, it's indestructible as long as your devotion to black is less than 5. It isn't a creature, so it's a creature is 5 or more. Whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2. If you do, you draw a card. For 1 and 1 black, sacrifice another creature. Target creature gets -2, -1 until end of turn. This is the last card spoiled today, it is the last mythic. And we have also the Constellation Showcase card for Erebus Bleak Hearted. As you know, for Theros Beyond That, we don't have the Fairy Tale Showcase as we had in Theros Beyond That. We have this Constellation. These are very beautiful cards. They have this dark shade. And I can't imagine how beautiful these cards will be in foil and how much expensive these cards will be. You can leave me a comment below. What do you think about these spoilers? What do you think about these new gods, about the NYX land, the new NYX Lotus? It's a very, very strong card in my opinion. And here's the subscription button. Subscribe for my channel for more interesting videos, for more spoilers about Theros Beyond That.